Let me ask you a question about the Hub Zone program. You expressed in the testimony, you stated that the Hub Zone construction contract limitation provision, you were concerned about it. And I just want to ask you, if a company is performing work more than 150 miles away, the odds are that it is hiring employees and renting equipment elsewhere. This does not benefit the company's Hub Zone, the reason they got approved into the program in the first place. So explain to me how a contract far away benefits the Hub Zone of a company who got into the program because of their location in a particular zone.
Yeah, I think it's a very fair concern. I think our concern around that has primarily to do with companies in rural areas that cover a large range of activity. I was in North Dakota last week, which I should mention to you is launching what we think may be an alternative to LODOC. You and I can talk about that later. But many of those companies travel far. And specifically, I mentioned in my testimony, companies located on Indian reservations. So it is primarily for companies in areas where we think they travel a long way. In addition, those companies may send people to those job sites far away. So those people may still be located in those Hub Zone areas.
I hear you, and I just would like to ask you that you and us work together on this issue about the rural communities, because I think it's a valid point.
Yes.
But I could not accept the fact that if we have a Hub Zone company located in Southeast, here in D.C., that could get a construction contractor 150 miles away, meaning Virginia Beach, it's going to benefit the people there, not the low-income community that it was targeted to benefit. And that is the problem that we have. Winter Park in Florida or in Utah, it is not supposed to be that way.
Yeah. Well, they still would need to have 35% of their employees from Hub Zones, and the one thing I'd say is even if they're performing work in an area further away, it does allow them to hire people from Hub Zones close to that job site.
Well, and you mentioned the hiring and the job creation of that company, Hub Zone company, for that community. But is that the business, the only requirement as far as employment of people from Hub Zone far away from the company's home zone is that the business must attempt to maintain employment of 35% of the company's employees from Hub Zones. So given this, can you provide some insight as to how we can be assured that Hub Zone companies performing contracts a long way from their home zone will hire Hub Zone residents?
Well, I know at the time, before the award is accepted, they have to attest, not yet, in our proposed rule, they would have to attest that they met their Hub Zone requirements. If employment, I unfortunately can't comment on that, and if you're recognizing a loophole here, I think it's something we need to understand.
Because you know that is one of the points raised by the Inspector General. Mr. Chabot.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just one final point. Administrator Preston, you've been asked a lot of questions this morning. Are there any clarifications, anything you want to expound upon that you think that might make any of your testimony more clear? Anything that you don't think came out right that you would like to comment on?
I think much of what we are working on to make this agency more effective in reaching out to small businesses, and specifically the groups of small businesses that we talked to today, our effectiveness is heavily influenced by how we're training our people, the kind of outreach we're doing, the support we're giving to the other agencies, the way we're holding them accountable. And I just want to reinforce that we have made, I believe, a lot of progress on a number of fronts. We will continue to do that. And I would also like to commit to all of you here, anytime you want us to come over and meet with you informally to go through any of the initiatives to show how we're doing, we would welcome those opportunities.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I yield back, Madam Chair.
Preston, and the administrator is excused, but before you leave, I want to thank you, and I know this is not easy, and especially I know that you have been before this committee too many times, but it is important and the message is clear. You know, before, oversight was not conducted by this committee, and I intend to make the agency better for the business community, and I am not going to abdicate the responsibility of this committee to hold hearings so that we can make sure that people are accountable and that we are all doing what is right on behalf of taxpayers, but most importantly, the small business community that we represent and that we are committed to serve.
Thank you.
With that, you are excused.